players who will be exiting the contest right away. That's McKenna Keffel, who is wearing a brace just to be on the field right now. She has stepped off and is being hugged by her coaching staff now. Keffel, a right knee injury. She was the team's leading scorer last season. That knee injury cut her season short, but she does get to enjoy the festivities on senior night, even if it's only for 15 seconds. Now the real action getting on.
That was a real nice moment, though. You're right, and she was recognized moments ago during senior night. They talked about her losing her season. Expects to play on at the collegiate level, certainly after a successful high school career. Just a shame it ends with an injury in the senior year.
It'll be a Waynesburg throw-in now. In the defensive area, we have had 1 minute come off the clock, by the way. Here comes the throw-in. Deflected and now controlled by Belle Vernon. It's Zeddy. Marissa Zeddy with the ball. She sends it across now on the far side. Waynesburg trying to defend. Getting there is Bailey Fudala. She forces the turnover, sends one up to Madison Clayton, though. Clayton on the far side can't chase it down before it rolls out of bounds. It'll be a Belle Vernon throw-in.
And I like the idea there. Well, you may not have had a chance to really set up any offense there. At least you drive the ball into the opposite end, into your attacking zone. See if you can set things up down that way.
The back four tonight for Waynesburg: Benke, Rose, Hampson, and Garber will certainly be key for Waynesburg if it's going to pick up a victory tonight. Pass intercepted in midfield by Lily Beam. Up to Madison Clayton, 40 from goal on the far side. Clayton giving to Fudala. Fudala with speed, can't get past the defender. That's Sarah Sepsky, one of the four captains for the Leopards. It'll be a throw-in for Waynesburg. And the launching rocket arms of Claire Garber, the left back, getting ready to throw it in. She does launch one in, but it finds a couple of white jerseys and drops back to a Waynesburg midfielder who sends it into the box, where it's easily scooped up by the Belle Vernon goalkeeper, Katie Watson. Watson, a senior for the Leopards, wearing a blue shirt with white stars and red shorts. Maybe she's going for the Napoleon Dynamite look. What's the name of that guy who wore the roundhouse kick to your face?
Don't bring up that movie.
Come on, that's one of my favorite movies.
It's not one of my favorites. My sisters loved that thing. I could just never grasp it.
Here's a dangerous moment as a through ball comes in. Josie Evans lets it go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for a corner kick for Belle Vernon, as it was last touched by a Waynesburg defender. Perhaps Evans was afraid to pick up the ball in fear of a pass back. I believe it was a deflection. She did let it go, so we'll have a corner kick here near side, first corner of the night.
Yeah, maybe the first opportunity to set the tone here for Belle Vernon here on this corner kick.
And here is the service, an in-swinger that doesn't swing inbounds. Straight out of bounds, and a goal kick coming for Evans and the Raiders.
It swung, but just not the way she intended for it to, that's for sure.
Fourth minute of action, the ball checks into the net for the first time. That's because the ball boy or girl on that far side just threw it directly into the net, and Evans couldn't save it.
Maybe she got that out of her system early.
Hopefully that's the only time she has to fish a ball out of the net if you're a Waynesburg fan. Here comes the goal kick far side of the six in the fourth minute of action, still scoreless. Finds a Raider, now deflected off a Leopard. It's Marissa Zeddy who's in the midfield to send it out of bounds far side for another Garber throw-in in the defensive area for Waynesburg. That throw-in again finds Zeddy, controls it with the knee, and now it's tapped out of bounds by a Waynesburg midfielder. That time I believe Lily Beam touched it last. Far side throw-in for the Leopards. Nobody getting control of it, and it goes right back out of bounds for another Leopard throw-in. Last touch by Fudala on that far side. Now here's a good clearance on a second throw-in. Waynesburg boots it toward midfield, but the Leopards are going to control it here. With it, Emily McCullough. McCullough sends a through ball that's deflected. Waynesburg able to tap it back toward midfield again, but not clearing all the way out. Claire Garber going for a header as the ball comes back in. Now controlling it, Sierra Lynn. Lynn loses possession, though. And Waynesburg clearing it out to Madison Clayton. Clayton crossing midfield on the far side. Clayton with speed has two defenders near her. She cuts it back toward the middle. Clayton has help now on her right side. She tries to give it to that help, but it's an errant pass that's deflected out of bounds. Coming up to help was winger Sophie Demko. Her and Fudala both have speed to give Clayton support. That time, though, the pass just wasn't there.
Great individual effort by Clayton to get it as far as she did. But yeah, Demko was right there with maybe a chance to get it to her and just didn't quite have the right angle.
Lipscomb throws it in for Waynesburg. Ball trying to be controlled by Beam. She can't do it. Clayton's there, though. Clayton punches it through. Here's some pressure applied by Waynesburg. Benko doesn't get there first. We've got Waynesburg's first corner of the night as it's sent out of bounds by the Leopard near the flag.
Thought it was going to be a nice scoring opportunity for Benko right there. The ball just got a little bit too far ahead of her. to where the defense was able to catch up to it first. Otherwise, Demko might have had a real nice shot.
Waynesburg captain Lily Beam to take the corner on the near side with the right foot. It'll be an outswinger. Snead checks in, now checks back. Here's the ball into the box. Headed out by Bell Vernon, only toward the 18. Now a second clearance by the Leopards. This one goes over the head of Sierra Lynn and comes back to midfield to L. Hampson. Hampson sends it down, far side, controlled by the Leopards. In the middle with it now, Lexi Demko, another senior. Ball turned over. Beam has it, sends it far side to Fudala. Fudala tracks it down before it goes out of bounds, and it's punched out once more by Sepsky on the far side. But it actually was last touched by... Nope, that's correct. Fudala did not touch it last. Out of bounds, last touched by Sepsky. Sepsky tried to take a quick throw-in to fool the referee, but he wasn't fooled. Now here comes the throw-in from Garber. Headed out by the Leopards. Another throw-in for Garber, about 35 yards from goal, 10 yards farther back. Garber launches this one into the box. Clayton gives chase. But easily there is Courtney Ryko, a captain for Bell Vernon. Now coming up through midfield are the Leopards. And crossing the half line, Marissa Hansen with the ball. Hansen sends it forward. Sierra Lynn giving chase, enters the box. Lynn, shot, scores with the right foot near post. What a great shot by Bell Vernon, and in the 7th minute, the Leopards take the lead. Josie Evans completely fooled on that one, couldn't even make an attempt, was frozen up for that first Bell Vernon goal.
Well, and right there, I was going to say on the rush before that, Elle Hampton showed so much poise back there in the middle of the field where if she makes a misstep there, it's probably a rush, from Bell Vernon moments ago. This one, Elle Hampton comes over from the middle, and she was really the last effort to try to catch the goal scorer, and she just could not quite get to the mark. Was almost step for step, but just a step ahead for the goal, and then, had the shot on Evans where she just did not make a play on it.
Bell Vernon off to a good start in what potentially could clinch Section 4AA, leading Waynesburg 1-0, 7 minutes into this contest. The first shot of the night taken by Sierra Lynn, the junior forward for the Leopards. She converts on it.
They really thought Hampson had a chance to catch her, but Lynn showing good speed to really just stay one step ahead of Hampson the whole way down.
So now already Waynesburg is trailing. Waynesburg with possession of the ball here. Through ball sent to the right back, Lipscomb. Lipscomb can't chase it down on the pass from Demko, and now Bell Vernon's able to turn it out back to Lynn inside the midfield circle. Lynn in the middle of the pitch, turns and fires, but Lauren Rose is there. And now Elle Hampson sends it toward the Bell Vernon defense. But it's picked up by Demko in midfield. Demko tries a through ball, Rose deflects, Demko right back again, and we've got another run coming, this time from Hassan near side. Right at the corner of the 18, Hassan steps back, sends one in, Lynn is there, but she whiffs on it, deflected in the box, Waynesburg can't control, Lynn sends it back, and a shot taken left foot goes way high and wide by Lexi Demko. Waynesburg saving another potentially dangerous situation there, as Bell Vernon gets away. One shot, but doesn't convert. Still 1-0 Leopards.
It actually looked like one of two players, Lynn, or I believe it was also, I want to say it was Lovett on the right side, where it looked like either player might have had a legitimate shot on net right there, and it kind of got past the first shooter, and then the shot from Lovett just was a little offline.
Waynesburg entered tonight's game outscoring opponents 48-9 in games against Bell Vernon, being outscored 3-0. Bell Vernon, after the goal kick, has possession again. Hassan goes near post. Evans comes out. She doesn't get the ball the first time, but she's able to roll and control it with the hands. And we'll get ready for a punt. 9th minute of action. Bell Vernon leads by 1.
They really had to do that because Lynn was right there on the doorstep again, ready to make a play on that. But Evans comes out and prevents the shot from even taking place. Had to scramble a bit to make sure she controlled it, but did.
Evans punt controlled by Hassan, now sent far side on the switch. Evans comes out. Oh, it's another goal, and a beautiful one at that by Sierra Lynn, who chips the keeper coming out. Lynn, 2 shots, 2 goals, 10 minutes in. This looks bad for Waynesburg.
It definitely does. You looked at that one goal they got on the board right away, kind of set the tone for the match. But it's just one goal. Now that they get that second marker here in the first 10 minutes, all the momentum right now with Bell Vernon, and 2 goals is 2 goals. It's still, you come back from that, but much more, and you figure it's going to be quite an uphill battle for the Raiders.
Credit Riley Batanti with the assist, if I have that number right. That's Megan Lovett with the assist in the 10th minute. Excuse me. 2 goals in 3 minutes by Sierra Lynn has the Leopards leading the Lady Raiders 2-0 in a potential section championship game here.
Waynesburg needs an answer right now. They really do need to get on the board and not let this get out of control.
Waynesburg has been playing much of the last 5 minutes in its defensive half. Here's a throw in Lipscomb near side. It's won by Bell Vernon. Now back to Lipscomb. Lipscomb sends another header, and eventually Waynesburg does control with feet here. Still near side. Pass goes up to Demko. Now coming through midfield with it is Benke, but her pass is turned away at first. Then it goes back to Benke. Now Fudala far side. Fudala, triple team, loses it, and now Bell Vernon has it in midfield. Here comes a switch to Hassan on the near side. Hassan controls with the thigh, now traps it, 45 from goal, goes middle. Back up to Lynn. Lynn tries to punch it through to Lovett. Lovett controls, drops back, intercepted by Waynesburg in the middle of the pitch, 25 from goal. And it's cleared out now. Madison Clayton giving chase. Here she is, 35 from goal. Clayton gets by a falling defender, but we've got a foul committed by Clayton. Players just got their legs tripped up, tangled up, I should say. The player in pursuit was Monica Hughes, the center back. Clayton unfortunately tripped her up, and it probably prevented a Waynesburg break.
Yeah, Hughes, it just looked like maybe the feet got tangled. I'm not even sure to what extent they did, but they called a foul. It looked like Clayton was going to get a huge break and just have a one-on-one with the keeper, and they blow the whistle.
Clayton was going to Hughes' left side. Some misdirection had her confused, but then the legs just got tangled up. Now on a restart here, Bell Vernon has the ball near midfield. In possession, near side is Zeddy, the captain. Zeddy to Hassan, through ball. Hassan turns, but is she going to get there in time before it rolls out on the near sideline? No, she won't. 12th minute of action. Waynesburg trailing 2-0.
You just thought that might have been what the doctor ordered for the Raiders. You get Clayton one-on-one. I'd say 4 or 5 minutes. Waynesburg kind of playing back on their heels a little bit. Didn't see the intensity we saw the first few minutes. I'd say 3-4 minutes in this game. It had a nice pace to it. Waynesburg attacking, but really have not seen much in that way lately.
After that first goal, Waynesburg just became deflated, and really a miscommunication of how Evans just punted the ball to a teammate who wasn't ready. It was easily won by Hassan on the near side, and that started the ping-ponging motion over to Levitt and then in to the goal scorer Lynn, who chipped Evans, who again was in no man's land for the second time on a Lynn goal. It's not a good start for Waynesburg, but 2 goals this early is also not a terrible thing. Lynn has to defend one inside the 6, and she does. She mishandled it. Coming in was Hassan on a long, seemingly just floating cross.
It was Evans pulling that. I'll tell you what, that was a very tough save to make. That thing was coming in high. She just got high enough to pull it in. That could be doesn't look tricky as it's coming into the net, but certainly she had a little trouble handling it.
Demko in midfield here for Bell Vernon, 45 from goal, switches fields to Hassan. Hassan has a player making a run coming up. That's McCullough. McCullough gets there. So does a Raider. Ball deflected out of bounds for a throw-in.
Back to that save from Evans, too. As she was pulling it down, Lynn was coming in to try to kick it past her as she was bobbling it a bit. Very good job by Evans to stay with it. They give up the goal there, and you can start to feel pretty bad about how this one's going to go.
No throw-in, but a foul committed by McCullough just on the corner of the 18 near side. So here's a free kick from Waynesburg to restart. Doesn't get past a leaping Zeddy, who heads it down. Waynesburg still in possession. Now it's turned over. Demko has it. Demko trying to find Lynn in the middle. Can't. Turned out and away by El Hampson, who clears it to Fudala far side. Now we're going backward here to Garber. Garber has to chase it now. She just kicks it out of bounds for a Bell Vernon throw in dangerous territory midway down the 18-yard box, far side. Substitution coming. Maddie Pitanti checks in. Checking out is Emily McCullough. Here's the throw in. Waynesburg in its defensive area, trying to clear it out. Ball goes to the far sideline. It's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by a leopard. That's Sevsky on the far side. Here comes a throw from Garber and the Raiders. 14 minutes played. Waynesburg trailing 2-0 on a 7th and 10th minute goal from the junior Sierra Lynn for Bell Vernon. It's a match that could potentially decide the section champion in 4AA. If Waynesburg does come back and win tonight, it will win the section outright. If not, it's likely Bell Vernon who will win if it can complete victories in its final 2 section matches. Waynesburg's defense clears it back toward midfield where it's scooped up by Maddie Vittanti. Vittanti now to Hassan. Hassan jukes a Waynesburg defender, now sends a through ball to Lynn. At the low part of the box, Lynn, though, can't control it before it goes over the end line. 15th-minute goal kick coming down from Waynesburg, still trailing by 2.
A little rise out of the crowd on that move there. The Bell Vernon Leopards and juke out a defender.
Here's the goal kick restart from Waynesburg. Not a long one, and it's won by Bell Vernon. Zeddy had it. Now it's Lynn once again. Near corner of the 18. Lynn whips a cross in. Evans cradles it.
Yeah, Evans in perfect position that time. Just a line kick right at the chest of Evans. She's able to haul it in easily.
15 minutes gone. Waynesburg trying to control. Haven't seen much possession for Waynesburg in its attacking third since the first 3 minutes. Here's Lipscomb with it. Sends it out of bounds into the third row of the stands. Throw-in coming for Bell Vernon in the 16th minute. Bell Vernon throw from Hassan, a long one into the box. It'll take a couple of hops and end up again cradled by Evans. Josie Evans, the senior keeper, has only allowed 11 goals this season. But has also surrendered 4 very important ones on 2 different occasions to Bell Vernon, the only team that has beaten Waynesburg this season. Bell Vernon still possessing much of the game has Bell Vernon spent in its attacking half here. With it, Hassan near side, 40 from goal. Hassan looking, 2 Raiders on her. Now a third comes in. A 4th Raider deflects the pass that was attempted to go into Lynn in the box. Now here's a long ball sent in from Maddie Vittanti. That one finds Lovett. Lovett, though, puts a hand to the ball to trap it, so Waynesburg will have a goal kick about 10 yards outside its defensive 18.
Talked about the 2 goals. I was trying to find the box score from that matchup against Bell Vernon the first time around to see, when those 2 goals were scored. I mean, I don't think Waynesburg's had. I'm pretty certain they've not played with a 2-goal deficit for much time at all during this season.
Something that they'll have to overcome if these Lady Raiders are up to the task of winning the section title tonight. Remember, it's potentially the first section championship in Waynesburg girls soccer history.
Benke and White, Evelyn White, checking in for Waynesburg. And Riley Vittanti is checking in for Bell Vernon. The Raiders who came out were Sophie Demko and I'm sure who this one is here, right down below us. She turns around, we'll get you the number.
Madison Clayton trying to ball hawk the back 4 of Bell Vernon. The Leopards able to clear it toward midfield. Now Rose takes a header for Waynesburg in the defensive area. Ball dribbles toward Lipscomb. Lipscomb takes a swing at it, but Hassan is there after she misses it. Into Lynn. Lynn clear into the box. Lynn dribbling, shooting at Evans. Evans makes the save, and she's able to corral the rebound.
And that one is a big save there by Evans. Got the hands on it, and it looked like point-blank range there from Lynn. Big save by Evans to keep this just a 2-goal deficit.
That's the first true save of the night from Josie Evans on the 4th shot from Bell Vernon. 3 shots on target for the Leopards, all 3 of those by Sierra Lynn. 2 goals courtesy of Lynn as well. Here's a chip pass into the box. Lovett is there. Evans comes out, dives, grabs it. Lovett unable to get control with the left foot, and as she turned, Evans was right on top of her near the penalty spot.
That's a play where you have to make the quick decision if you're Evans. Do you try to stay back and guard the shot, or do you try to prevent the shot by going after it? And it's got to be the right decision made, and she did there.
19th minute of action. Waynesburg trails Bell Vernon 2-0 here on the MSA Sports Network and greensports.net. Presented by First Federal of Greene County. Substitution for Waynesburg checking into the game is Sarah Snee. Coming out is Lily Bean.
Yeah, and Snee was the one who had just come off, too, that we weren't able to identify earlier. That's her going right back out there. She didn't take much time off.
Waynesburg a throw in on the far side, right around midfield. Ball intended for Clayton, defended well by Bell Vernon and knocked out of bounds. Let me correct something. Not Lily Beeman checked out, but Elise Benke, number 2, checking out for Waynesburg. Garber on the far side, 45 from goal, throws one in. This time it goes over the head of Clayton to the feet of a Leopard, who's able to send it a touch away, and now the Leopards are able to control it far side and try to get things moving. Here's a long pass intended for Lynn. Waynesburg tracking backward. Getting there first is Lauren Rose, but she's not able to clear it out of bounds, and we've got a corner kick coming as Lynn is able to control it on the touchline and send it off for a deflection out of bounds on the end line.
The speed of Sierra Lynn is a huge factor in this contest. We saw it in the first goal where she just basically outraced, I believe it was Hampson, to the net, and here she somehow caught Rose from behind, and Rose had a pretty good step on her.
Lynn sends the corner kick in. It's deflected off the crossbar. Waynesburg trying to clear it out. Somehow the Raiders are able to prevent the ball from going into the net after
goodness.
2 or 3 efforts from the Leopards. We've got a foul committed 30 yards from goal, and boy, did Waynesburg really just dodge perhaps the most dangerous chance of all tonight for the Leopards.
There were 3 saves made inside the cage, none of them by Josie Evans right there. The shots were flying in, and they were being deflected by defenders somehow, some way.
Somehow
right
the ball
in the
stayed
front
out
of
of
the
the
net. I don't know how. Evans was pulled out of the play, and she was relying on her teammates to guard that net, and they did a fantastic job to somehow keep Bell Vernon at just 2 goals.
I'd love to tell you exactly which players
So would
played
I.
the ball, but there was just a wall of red after Evans missed on the corner kick.
I mean, legitimate saves, too. I mean, they were right in the mouth of the net.
3 or 4 red jerseys. You got to imagine it's Elle Hampson, Lily Rose. I think Lipscomb was in there, too. Here's a long ball down to Fadala. Can she get there? Fadala deflects it, but it goes just wide of the net for a goal kick.
Very close to getting on the board there was Waynesburg. I'm not sure who this was coming down to the near post. Was that Clayton?
Clayton was in support. I believe it was Fadala, who didn't really take a shot. She just kind of tried to punch the ball as the keeper was
Yeah, but
coming
I'm
out.
saying Clayton was
in the run.
If that ball had just not been maybe a foot further to the left, she might have had a shot at that before it got out of bounds.
Not only a shot at it, it would have been a slam dunk in the net had it gone toward the near post instead of out of bounds.
No doubt about it.
Remember that Clayton is one of the most potent goal scorers in AA, averaging better than 2 goals per game through 12 matches for Waynesburg. But now here's Bell Vernon again. A dangerous build-up here. With it on the far side is Sepsky. Sepsky, though, turns it over out of bounds. Garber to take the throw. Garber launches the throw. Sepsky leaves it for a teammate who clears it. Now it's deflected on by Demko. Ball comes forward. Waynesburg's midfield able to corral it for just a moment. Now Sepsky steps back up, sends it to Lovett on the far side. Lovett whipping one inward toward the middle. Ball turned away only as far as a midfielder. Now here's Hassan giving chase into the box. Hassan doesn't get there in time. Over the end line in the middle of the 18 for a goal kick.
Just out of Hassan's reach there. Man, if that opportunity down here for Waynesburg had paid off, can you imagine the momentum shift that would have happened after it looked like a short third goal on one end, deflected by 2 or 3 different Raiders down there in front of the net, and then to turn it around and score a goal to get right back in this thing. What a momentum shift that would have been, just out of reach for the Raiders.
And the way this game has gone, Jason, I can only imagine that if Waynesburg's going to get that first one anytime soon, that's the way it's going to come.
Yeah, I agree.
Waynesburg really has not had any true attacking build-up since, I would say, 5 minutes into the contest, has really been playing a lot of defensive ball. Coach Kioski, before the match, told us he's okay with that. He's okay with playing a counterattack style. When you're down 2-0, there's only so much counterattacking you can do if that game plan is not necessarily working.
And again, it's still, we're only talking about 2 goals at this point, but if you could somehow get on the board before you head to halftime, it has a much different feel to it.
I think there is such a thing in soccer as scoring too soon, but
right.
In order for that to really be true, Waynesburg's going to have to get one, like you said, to put pressure on Bell Vernon heading into the locker room. We are in the 24th minute of action. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, courtesy of Sierra Lynn, the junior, who was subbed on for McKenna Keffel, who only saw 15 seconds for senior night. Lynn gets both goals 7 and 10 minutes. Both of them, Josie Evans really could do nothing about. Bell Vernon with possession here on a throw-in. Waynesburg's back line able to clear it out toward Madison Clayton. Clayton far side, dancing, prancing, trying to break free of Maddie Vitanti. Eventually, she's able to bang one off Vitanti's thigh and send it out of bounds. Right at midfield, a throw in from Claire Garber. Garber, the sophomore defender in the same class as Madison Clayton. While Clayton does a lot of the goal scoring, Garber does a lot of the throwing in. She's quite good at it. Can send the ball 20 or 25 yards when she really wants to, and can treat some throw-ins as if they're corner kicks or free kicks. But now in the midfield with it is Demko for Bell Vernon. Sends one over toward Garber, who punches it right back to Demko. Budala coming backward, doesn't get to it in time, and now it's all the way over to McCullough. Up to Levitt. Ball's heading out of bounds here, and it will be a goal kick. Couldn't tell from our perspective here if it was heading toward the sideline or the end line. We will have a goal kick here.
Yeah, it looks like sideline from over here.
Waynesburg giving up 2 early goals. Remember, we can't stress this enough. The Lady Raiders, it's do or die for the section title tonight. Waynesburg has clinched a postseason berth. It's first since a AAA postseason appearance in 2008. But history is on the line tonight for Waynesburg. It could be the first ever girls soccer section championship. The Raiders are able to overcome this 2-0 deficit.
Well, lots of time still to work with, and you have dodged a couple of bullets here in the last 10 minutes or so as well. I mean, you're probably lucky at this point that it is just a 2-goal lead, and you still have a chance to get in this thing.
Especially after that corner kick, which I'm still wondering how 3 or 4 shots from the left did not find the back of the net with Josie Evans out of position after trying to defend the corner in the air. Bell Vernon, here's a shot coming in, but wide of the near post, taken by Maddie Vitanti from a good 30 or 35 yards out. Here's another goal kick from Waynesburg, 26th minute. No, Jason, one thing that I've been picking up on here is that Waynesburg is really struggling to gather possession and win these 50-50 balls. They're not really clearing the ball very far on these goal kicks, and it seems like a white jersey gets a head or chest to each of these goal kicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here is the restart. Another white jersey does get to it first. It goes over to Hassan after it's won by a leopard. Hassan again with the juke move, going on this near side here once again. Good defense by Lipscomb, I believe, to force the ball out of bounds. The throw-in coming. Bell Vernon will take this one. 27th minute. Lady Raiders trail the Leopards on the road 2-0. Ball into the box. Leopards can't control it. Raiders are able to get it. Here's one punch toward Clayton. She can't get there, though, in the center circle, and it goes out of bounds. Good defense by Courtney Ryko to recognize the situation and send it toward the far sideline.
Absolutely played that perfectly, did Ryko, to get the right angle and beat Clayton to the ball. Just put it out of bounds.
Benke in possession for Waynesburg. Possession short-lived, as now Demko has it in the middle of the field and sends one to Hassan. Hassan approaching the 18 near side, puts on the burners. Now she cuts it back to the right foot, sends a roller in. Evans comes out to the 6-yard box and scoops it up on the fringe.
Hassan just couldn't quite, that ball was bouncing too much for her to try to control. Had she gotten control a little earlier, she probably had a better chance of setting something up.
Another punt, another 50-50 ball won by the Leopards. It's Demko who controls it. Leopards not doing much with possession for now. Here's a lob ball into Lynn. She can't win it. Garber has it, and again turns it out over the touchline for a throw-in. Restart from the Leopards to Demko. Ball goes out of bounds again after it was mishit by Demko. Ray Waynesburg throwing. Garber now towing the line. Far side, sending it to Clayton. Clayton wins it. Heads the ball toward midfield. Budala gives chase, but Bell Vernon easily clears it out. Now controlled in midfield by Marissa Zetti. Zetti sends a long one in. Lipscomb doesn't win the header on the first chance, but another Raider is there to send it out of bounds on the near side. Hassan, 30-plus yards from goal to take this throw-in. Hassan sent it in. Won by Waynesburg. Out to Clayton. Clayton heads it on, but no more red jerseys are there in support, so it's back with Bell Vernon. Here's Riley Vitanti with it, sending it to Lovett at the top of the semicircle at the 18. She can't control it. It's back out to Demko. Demko has a teammate. Now sends one into Lynn again. Evans comes out, and again, inside the 6. Beats Lynn by a step or two to pick it up.
Yeah, that ball just got past Lynn a bit too quickly, and Evans actually made a pretty easy play on that one.
4 shots total for Bell Vernon by my very unofficial tally. 2 of them ended up in the back of the net. Sierra Lynn put both of them there. Once again, Bell Vernon in possession of the ball. Coming up in support on the far side, Maddie Batanti with it. Batanti sends one in, takes a deflection. Now Waynesburg able to clear it out. Trying to control it is Benke. She does on the hop, sends it to Fadala far side. Can Waynesburg do something with possession here? Answer, no. Turned away again by the Leopards. Now here's a dangerous situation. Hassan attacking. She hits Evans with a body check. That has to be a foul. And it is. Play will stop here as Waynesburg will set up a free kick just inside its own 18.
Yeah, you had the odd situation there where you had not only Evans, but the defender coming in as well, who I think was Lauren Rose. They all kind of converged at the same point. You couldn't really tell who ran into who there, but I think you made the right call saying that the body check to Evans there. Wow.
Another 50-50 ball won by Bell Vernon. This time, though, Waynesburg tried to take it on a hop, and the Leopards just got there in time. Now here's a throw-in in the defensive area for once for Bell Vernon. No throw-in yet. We've got a couple of substitutions checking on for Waynesburg. Hannah Shriver. Correction, Evelyn White, excuse me. Now we're getting ready to reload and restart here as Emily McCullough will take the throw-in for Bell Vernon on the near side. Leopards still leading by 2 in the 31st minute. Fadala trying to corral one in midfield on a bad pass from the Leopards. Now she sends it back to Garber, but Garber mishits it slightly, and now the ball goes out of bounds far side. Taking the throw here is Sarah Sebsky. Sebsky to Demko. Demko over the shoulder flick. Is it going to stay in bounds? No. Throw in for Waynesburg coming.
Well, Waynesburg is down to about 9 minutes if they're going to try to get on the board before halftime. And we haven't, like you said, you're not seeing much attack out of Waynesburg, just a run here and a run there with maybe a slight chance at a score, but have not seen any sustained attack since the opening few minutes.
Riley Batanti carrying it, gives it up to Sapesky. Sapesky's pass intercepted. Now here's a little bit of space for Benke. Benke sends a chip ball toward Fudala. Handball committed by Bell Vernon to stop the pass. I believe it's Bailey Campbell who's the callable player there. Not sure that ball would have gotten through to Fudala anyway, though.
Right idea, though. You can see Clayton, and that's Clayton's idea. She's running down the sideline pointing, saying, hey, get the ball ahead. And it just did not quite get through that time.
Free kick right near midfield from Elle Hampson. Free kick finds a Raider momentarily, but then Sierra Lynn is there to control it. She drops it back, tries to have some build-up here. Her pass is deflected, but now it's sent forward by the Leopards. Garber off the thigh to Hampson. Hampson sends it toward that far touchline that's been very popular for Raider clearances. And now the Leopards get a throw in once more. 33rd minute of action. Bell Vernon leading section foe Waynesburg 2-0. Here's a ball into the box. Evans stays in. Shot taken and deflected by Waynesburg out of bounds for a corner kick as Riley Batanti took the ball on a couple of hops and sent it out of bounds. Correct that. No deflection. Batanti just sent it out of bounds on her own.
I think Evelyn White made a great play defensively there. Evans decides to stay back, and then White just kind of took the shot away.
33rd minute. Goal kick coming for Waynesburg near side of the 6. Hampson, low goal kick just over the foot of Lynn. Now Demko has it. This could be dangerous as Demko in the middle of the field, 25 from goal, settles for some help. Shot taken, goes over the crossbar by Marissa Zetti. Left-footed shot from a good 27 or 8 yards out, goes just high and wide.
Yeah, sailed over the upper left-hand corner of the net. Josie Evans just watched it fly.
Now Claire Garber coming over to this near side to take the goal kick. Madison Clayton puts arms up as if to call for the ball. This one coming toward Clayton. One bounce, Clayton approaching. Clayton gets there. She goes down to the turf. No foul called. Bell Vernon comes away with possession with Riley Batanti on the ball. Now Marissa Zetti near side. Zetti's pass back to Batanti, intercepted. And now Waynesburg's able to turn it out, but only so far as Campbell for the Leopards. Now Lovett has it. Lovett to Lynn at the top of the half circle. Now it's back out and controlled by Zeddy. Zeddy sends a rolling shot in. Evans is there.
Evans, plenty of time to see that one coming in, no problem there. You'd like to see, like you pointed out earlier, the kicks on the goal kicks just not going very far for Waynesburg, and it's tough to really get it beyond, Bell Vernon when you're only kicking it maybe 20, 30 yards.
Things have settled down a touch from the first 10 minutes where Waynesburg gave up 2 goals within 3 minutes of each other to trail 2-0 here. When I say settled down, I mean less potent chances for the Leopards, but still no potent chances for Waynesburg. Really, Waynesburg's best attack came on a Vidala redirect that went into the box and just narrowly missed an oncoming Clayton and that near post on our side here of the press box. Had it found either the back of the net or Clayton's foot, it would have found the back of the net. It would have narrowed the deficit just a touch to 2-1. Other than that, though, Waynesburg really no bright movements offensively. Abby Virgin checking in for Waynesburg. As we have a stoppage, also checking in for Bell Vernon is Marissa Hassan. Hassan has been dangerous as an outside mid for the Leopards, more of a winger position, I should say. Helped set up the first goal, that 7th-minute goal by Lynn. She had the assist. The other assist was to Lovett on the other side, the right side. Bell Vernon with possession near the corner flag on the far side. Whipping one in is a Leopard. It takes a deflection, goes out of bounds for a corner kick. The Leopard who sent the pass in was none other than checked into the contest.
Got to be careful here for Waynesburg. While you'd like to get on the board, you certainly cannot surrender a late goal here.
Third corner devastating. Sorry, Jason. Third corner kick from the Leopards. Lynn sends an outswinger into the box. Evans comes out, gets it, and picks up the rebound. Much better defense by Waynesburg on this corner kick as Evans now boots it away. Clayton can't get there at midfield, but oncoming is a Raider. That's Beam who sends it toward Fudala, but it goes out of bounds far and wide on the far side.
Good aggressive play by Evans back there on that corner to come out and just take the ball away. Thought Waynesburg might have had a chance to set something up, just didn't have numbers, enough numbers going that way to keep that ball from going out of bounds.
37th minute, Waynesburg still trailing Bell Vernon by 2. Throw in comes from Bell Vernon, goes back to Waynesburg's back 4. Hampson tries to turn it out, but it takes a deflection off a Raider, and now Lynn controls. Lynn giving up to Zeddy. Zeddy sends a pass toward this near side further to Maddie Batanti. Now it goes back to Zeddy. Zeddy settles, sends toward Demko. Demko now dropping back from the middle of the field. And now it goes up to Lynn. Lynn, 30 from goal, drops it back once again to Sapeski. Sapeski sending it toward Demko inside the semicircle. Demko flicks it out to Hassan. Hassan's kick goes out of bounds and takes a deflection. Another corner kick coming forth of the night for Bell Vernon. Looks like it'll be Lynn again for another outswinger on the far side. About 3 minutes, fewer than 3 minutes I should say, remaining in this first half. Lynn's corner comes in, takes a header. Ball goes just over the crossbar. We had some celebrations on the Leopard bench because it caught the back of the net on the wrong side of the net, caused the net to throb just a touch.
It was honestly tough to tell where that was coming down and if it was going to have a chance to get in between the outstretched hands of Evans and the crossbar, but it just sailed behind the crossbar. It reminds me of an extra point we saw with a deciding kick Friday night. We'll talk about that later.
Boy, another somewhat weak goal kick that's deflected by Lynn almost at the top of the 18 with 2 minutes to go. But Waynesburg's able to clear it out all the way back to the back 4 of the Leopards. Now here's Fudala with it, far side. Waynesburg possessing. Fudala falls to the gold turf, and it's picked up by Sapeski. Sapeski still on that far side, tries to find Demko. She doesn't. It's turned away by Benke, but now it's right back to Sapesko, who wins the ball on the ground, far side. Comes right into midfield now as Zeddy has it. Zeddy switches from left to right foot, crosses the center line. Now she comes out of the center circle, passes near side to McCullough. McCullough sends a long one forward, giving chase is Hassan. Evansville is there, and we'll let it just roll out of bounds over the end line for a goal kick.
Yeah, just to clarify that comment, we had an extra point Friday night where Jefferson Morgan's kicker kicks the extra point, it hits the crossbar, shoots straight up in the air, and when it came down, you literally could not tell if it came in front of the uprights or just behind. It was just behind. The extra point was good, and that was the difference in the game. 15-14.
That is incredible stuff. I'm sure they could have used official replay review.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you, the officials even huddled afterwards.
My goodness.
From the press box, you really had no idea which side it came down on.
Even when a ball goes through the uprights by, let's say, a good yard or two, it's still hard to tell. I can't imagine what it would be like.
This was straight up off the crossbar and came straight back down, and you really had no idea which side it came down on.
30 seconds remaining in the half. Waynesburg a throw in far side deep in its defensive area. Waynesburg able to control it. Madison Clayton making a run. Fudala doesn't get the pass through. 20 seconds to go in the half. Waynesburg down by 2. Controlling with it now is Riley Batanti. Batanti breaking free in the middle. Now she shoots through to the top of the 18. Hits the turf. Waynesburg wins it. No whistle, no foul. Waynesburg still playing it on. 3 seconds to go. 2-1, and that will be the end of the first half. Belver's twice early to take a 2-0. Just wide of the near post. Not a good way to start here for Waynesburg in the first few seconds as Bell Vernon is able to almost make the most of its first chance of the second half. The Leopards lead 2-0 in a game that could decide the Section 4 AA championship. Nick Farrell alongside Jason Tennant on the MSA Sports Network and greensports.net. Presented by First Federal of Greene County. We thank you for joining us tonight. We hope that things will change a little bit toward the fortune of the Raiders, who trail by a couple here.
Yeah, that last one, actually, Lovett had the first chance, and then her shot in toward the net came off of Evans to set up Hassan with a chance. The defender came out to maybe just get that angle off a little bit for Hassan, and she kicked it wide right. Corner coming here.
Yes, exactly. Corner coming for Sierra Lynn, who already has a brace. Had a brace in the first 10 minutes with a goal in the 7th and 10th minute. Near side corner kick. Lynn sends it in. She's got a player open. Hassan, though, doesn't get to it. Leaping, and it just skimmed off the top of her head. But controlling on the far side is Emily McCullough. But McCullough has it sent out of bounds. She will take a throw in here. Waynesburg's Bailey Fudala is back in defense to send that one out of bounds. Now here's a throw in into the box. Madison Clayton wins it, and here she comes. Approaching from the middle of the field to the near side, sends a long through ball toward midfield, giving chase as a Raider who's not going to get there, rolling out of bounds for a Sarah Sapeski throw in here.
Yeah, was maybe trying to lead Benko there to the ball, but just got way too out in front of Benko.
Ball sent in. El Hampson tries to win it over Lynn. Doesn't, but Lynn sends it out of bounds on the near sideline anyway. Here comes a throw into Sophie Benko. Benko can't control. Benke now, Elise Benke in the middle, can't control it either, so it's in possession of the Leopards. With it is Megan Lovett on the near side, 30-plus yards from goal. Lovett sends one into the middle to Zeddy. Zeddy sends it back, and now it goes forward toward the Raiders' back 4. Waiting to control it on the bounce is Hampson. She shoulders the ball forward. Lovett is there and sends it to Demko, who traps it. Now it's back to Lovett near side. Lovett, right-footed cross into the box. Coming out is Evans. Evans deflects. Evans gets to it. And a good, smart shielding play there by a Lady Raider in the middle of the box. Believe it was Sarah Sneed who fended off Demko, who was fast approaching the rebound. Long ball past midfield. It somehow finds the feet of Madison Clayton after it takes a couple deflections off a couple of Leopards. Clayton, though, in a foot race against Courtney Kryko.
The only problem for Clayton there is she was basically 1-on-3 down the far sideline with very little to no help.
Ball does go out of bounds. Waynesburg will have a throw in here. 44th minute of action, still trailing Bell Vernon by a couple. Waynesburg's only loss this season coming to the Leopards at home back in September. A 2-0 loss. That's currently the scoreline here. Will it stand? Well, we have yet to find out as a shot is taken from long distance by Waynesburg. Takes a deflection, heading toward the near sideline, but a Leopard is there to save it and send it up to her teammate Lovett.
Clearly not a high percentage shot for Waynesburg there, but just nice to see a ball being blasted somewhere in the vicinity of that net.
Now still near side. Demko giving chase on a long ball, but it goes out of bounds for a Waynesburg throw. Looked like L. Hampson was definitely there to apply the defense, and now Garber, the left back, sends the throw in toward Benke. Benke has it, pokes it, ball out of bounds again, near side. Throw in Leopards. Ball won for a moment by Levitt, now sent all the way forward toward the goalie. Evans is there, and it takes a redirect. She could have picked it up, but she let it go out of bounds. It'll be another corner kick. If the ball is headed or takes a volley-style deflection, the keeper can pick it up. That was Brenna Lipscomb who smartly sent it backward toward her keeper, but her keeper decided to let it go out of bounds. 45th minute corner kick here from Lynn once again. 7th corner kick of the night. Ball goes in. Evans isn't there. Oh, it's deflected, and now it's in the net. A great header as Waynesburg tried again to clear it from the goal line. Benke was the one who deflected it out. Still waiting to get a number on the goal scorer. Believe it's Sapeski.
I think it might be.
Or might be.
Yeah, it's 9.
Might be Bailey Campbell who had the goal.
Yeah, Bailey
Either
Campbell.
way, still 3-0 is your score. We'll call that one unassisted for Bailey Campbell here in the 45th minute. That third goal makes it 3-0, and that could spell doom for Waynesburg.
Absolutely going to be a very tough hill to climb now for the Raiders, and unfortunately we haven't seen any change in the landscape of the play here, where all the play is still happening in the attacking side of Bell Vernon.
And again, the Leopards cross midfield into that attacking side. Lynn has it. Now Hassan in the middle, 40 from goal. Hassan gives over to her teammate Zeddy. Zeddy back to Hassan. Hassan checking into the box. Evans comes out, uses her feet to punch it, and is going to go out again for a goal kick, it appears.
And we have a situation, that last goal, you hate to kind of point fingers or whatnot, but had Josie Evans played that ball and not allowed for that corner kick, I mean, she could have prevented that corner kick from even happening. The corner kick leads to the third Bell Vernon goal. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances there for Waynesburg.
It's a very good point, Jason. And not only there was just great congestion in the middle there in front of Evans. She really, again, for the third time tonight, could do nothing about a Bell Vernon goal because there were just too many white jerseys in the 6-yard box for Evans to come out and make a play on the corner kick. Benke did a phenomenal job of keeping out the first time, but then Bell Vernon was able to put it away the second time on a Campbell header. 3-0, 47th minute. Ball comes into the box. Lynn is there. Evans gets to it, deflects it out of bounds. Near side, corner kick coming once more.
And that is the second collision for Josie Evans in the last, I'd say, minute and a half. Got hit hard to get it. Looked like it was a pretty good collision there again, and she seems to be maybe a little bit slowed as she went back to her position.
So Lynn again to take the corner kick. We've got 2 white jerseys on this near post. Now a third comes over, forming a wall. 3 Raiders behind. That one by Lynn hits the top of the crossbar, goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
Well, not the start that Waynesburg had envisioned when you're trying to come back and all of a sudden the deficit gets larger, 3-0, and that clock continues to wind, and still no reason to believe that Waynesburg has the offense. Now, we know they do from seeing them all season long, but in this particular game, just have not seen the offensive attack that would lead you to believe that they've got 3 goals in them. Let's hope things change.
Here's the quick feed of Madison Clayton. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by her. Right around midfield for a throw-in.
Maybe a chance.
Now here's a deflection. Clayton giving chase. Clayton doesn't get there first. Winning it are the Leopards by a good few feet. Still, as it's clear toward midfield, Waynesburg gets the first header. That's Beam, who tried to control it with the head. But now, Bell Vernon in possession. By the way, good defense by Hryko to beat to beat Madison Clayton to that ball on the deflection, which was deflected by Demko. Now here, to the top of the semicircle, Zeddy can't control it. She tracks backwards, shields a Raider, and now she has it. Here's a lob through ball into the corner of the 18. Lovett is there, near side. Lovett cuts back. Lovett to the corner of the 18, gives it back to Zeddy. Zeddy to Demko, back to Zeddy toward the middle of the midfield. Now a shot taken, and it goes wide of this near post. A long shot from about 30 yards out, taken by Emily McCullough.
You talked about Ryko in that defensive play on the one little bit of a rush that Waynesburg had there, and I thought very heads up by her to send the ball back to her keeper rather than try to play it. She knew Clayton was breathing down her neck, and rather than try to make the play on the ball herself, just pushes it on further away from Clayton to her keeper, and that really just thwarted the entire attack.
Another goal kick won by Belle Vernon. Waynesburg forced to send the ball out of bounds on the far side. Coming up to take the throw in is McCullough. He's about 30 yards from goal. McCullough throws it in. Zeddy wins. Zeddy sends toward Demko. Ball sent out once again, but only so far as McCullough on that far side, and it will go out of bounds again for a McCullough throw-in for Belle Vernon, 35 yards from goal. McCullough, a longer throw this time. Demko trying to chest in the middle of the park. Ball takes a deflection. Zeddy is there. Waynesburg now trying to hustle and get this ball out. It does come out toward this near side to Demko. Demko tries to dance past Sapeski. And now it goes back to Ryko, who sends it forward to Lovett on the near side. Lovett switches fields to McCullough. McCullough sends a lobbed one in, takes a deflection by Hassett. Now Lynn is in. Will it be a hat trick? Oh, what a great save by Josie Evans. Kick save and a beauty. Ball comes out. Still dangerous as Waynesburg is retreating here, and a ball sent in by McCullough. 51st minute as Lynn checks out. She's still done damage tonight against the Lady Raiders as the Leopards lead 3-0. Waynesburg in the attacking third here. Madison Clayton giving chase on the near side. Clayton has it, cuts, but she's triple teamed, and the ball is won by the Leopards. Lovett has it, turns it down the near sideline. Ball time to strategize. Waynesburg really has not. Not done much offensively throughout this contest. In fact, has not recorded a single shot on target the entire night.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, though. You don't see delays in soccer matches very often where you have enough time to pull your team aside and talk over things. Not the way you want to see it happen, obviously, with the injury, but try to at least use that time off the field to a possible advantage strategic-wise.
Lovett tries to dummy a pass and send it through her legs. Ball deflected out by Elle Hampson for another throw-in. Sapeski takes the throw for a throw-in. It's a corner kick, and another one at that for the Leopards, their 9th of the evening.
And obviously, the longer we get into this second half, the more and more it looks like Waynesburg is going to be dropping a second straight to Belle Vernon. I mean, you just don't score 3 goals that quickly when you haven't seen that many opportunities. Things would have to turn around in a hurry here for the Lady Raiders.
Corner kick takes a Waynesburg deflection out of bounds for a throw-in near side. Sapeski will handle 25 from goal. Wouldn't just be the second straight this season. It would be the 13th consecutive Belle Vernon win in this series since 2006, back when these teams were AAA opponents in the same section. Ball sent in toward Hassan from McCullough, It takes a deflection and goes out of bounds on the far side.
And we talked about it in the Even Bracket Pharmacy pregame as well, where, we saw, the score from earlier when Belle Vernon shut out Waynesburg before. Didn't think they could shut them out again, but here they are on the verge of doing that.
Waynesburg in the defensive box, trying to clear the ball out. Takes one deflection, then another. Then the Raiders are able to get it out. Now the ball finds Demko, who sends it over the crossbar, out of bounds for a Waynesburg goal kick. 54th minute of action. Waynesburg making a substitution. Checking in is Evelyn White. Coming out is Sylvie Demko, it appears. Rather, Bailey Fadala, excuse me. By the way, the girl who is now playing striker, it appears, is Hassan for Bell Vernon. Entering the game is Bailey Nalavenko for Bell Vernon. Hope I got that one right. She's the one girl who checked in.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, another collision in the box as Evans goes down. She was hit hard by Hassan. Hassan, rightfully so, gets a yellow card. That means she'll have to check out of the game for at least 5 minutes, and Bell Vernon will be forced to substitute. Bell Vernon does not have to play a girl down for that period of time. The Leopards are allowed to make a substitution only in the event of a red card, with the player being ejected completely from play. First caution of the evening issued in the 54th minute to Hassan for the collision with Evans, the goalkeeper for Waynesburg.
Well, Evans in this second half, that is no less than 4 pretty hard collisions. I mean, not saying if, anybody was at fault for any of these. She's just hard, aggressive play, and there have been some pretty hard contact there where we've seen an injury already to Sierra Lynn. A couple of times you saw Evans a little slow to get up, but she seems to be okay. Now the officials want an explanation on this yellow card.
Yeah, Paul Sasko is giving a little bit of an earful here to our referees. Wondering, perhaps asking questions about why a yellow card was issued. The referees checking their pocketbooks now to make sure they have the time and player correct, and we'll get things resumed here with the goal kick. Another stoppage in play. We've had a couple of lengthy stoppages since the 51st minute with that Lynn injury, and now the yellow card to Hassan. It appears we've got a couple of members of the Bell Vernon band entering the arena now as Bell Vernon wins another goal kick. Zeddy with it. Zeddy crossing toward the far side, drops back to McCullough. McCullough sending one in toward Lovett. It goes over her head, but Lovett is still there. Lovett on the volley. Goes backward, not forward. Waynesburg able to control it. Almost goes right back to Lovett, and instead rolls out of bounds for a Bell Vernon throw.
Well, they replaced, I don't know if you already mentioned, Jillian McCullough came in place for the yellow card, and she is a freshman who I don't think has been on the field to this point. Now up there, I don't know if Waynesburg maybe can take advantage of that. We'll see.
Handball committed in the Waynesburg defensive box for a free kick. Ball goes right to Lovett on the resumption of play. Lovett dancing. Now she switches to her left foot on the near side and goes with a give and go to Demko. Now back to her. Now she switches it into the middle of the field. Ball punched up in the air. Evans comes out and scoops it up. Riley Batanti was the girl at the top of the semicircle who booted it with a right foot skyward. Evans came out and grabbed it. Evans, now another boot, sends it forward to Evelyn White, who trapped it with a hand. Free kick restart coming for McCullough on the far side and the Leopards. Still, Waynesburg struggling to make anything happen offensively, have not really manufactured any chances this evening other than one opportunity when Bailey directed a pass toward the goal and toward the oncoming Madison Clayton. No shots recorded by Waynesburg this evening. And you're right, Jillian McCullough is in wearing 00, a number that's rarely seen in soccer, whether it's boys or girls. She mishandles one, and now it comes all the way out to Madison Clayton. Clayton forces a quick clearance by Bell Vernon. She comes right back and grabs it on the near side. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by a Leopard for a Waynesburg throw-in. The girl who last touched it was Monica Hughes on the near side.
Nice header there by Demko to get it right back to Clayton, but Clayton just kind of ran out of there was 3 defenders around her. She did get the ball through to Clayton, but the defenders were able to easily get that ball out of bounds.
Waynesburg throw-in rolls right to the keeper, Katie Watson, whom we haven't heard much from tonight, haven't needed to hear much from. She'll boot one away here in the 57th minute with her team leading Waynesburg 3-0. Waynesburg now in midfield has possession. Ball just booted forward. This should be an easy play here. Coming out to grab it is Watson, although it's outside the 18. She'll dribble it in and scoop it up. Watson quickly resumes things, throws it. Now the ball is cleared in the vicinity of Jillian McCullough. Waynesburg gets to it first, sends it out of bounds on the far sideline. Throw-in comes in. Waynesburg sends it just as quickly back out of bounds on that far side. Lauren Rose with the left foot sends it out. This throw-in finds Jillian McCullough. McCullough, though, loses it. Now it comes all the way over to Bailey Fadala for Waynesburg on the near side. Fadala tries to find Beam in the midfield, but can't. Now a foul is committed, so Waynesburg will have possession of the ball on a free kick.
Almost midway through this second half, and still things have not changed for Waynesburg offensively at all.
Another restart and another low 50-50 ball won by the Leopards. In possession is Zeddy. Zeddy in the middle of the field, goes to her left. Now the ball goes in toward Jillian McCullough at the top of the 18. Takes a bad hop. McCullough commits a foul here. Waynesburg will get a free kick at the spot where the 18 and semicircle connect on that far side.
Going back there is going to be number 28, Claire Garber.
Garber gets this one off the ground, right toward Madison Clayton, traps it with the foot, then chest, then foot again. Clayton now spinning away with it, trying to get it on the ground to Fadala. Fadala mishandles it on the one time, and now it's turned over. Lovett up to Jillian McCullough. Now over to Lovett again, near side. 30 from goal. Lovett stutter step, sends it right in the face of Garber, who defends it well, but it goes to Sapesky. Garber stays with it, sends it out of bounds for a Sapesky throw for the Leopards. 3-0 your score. 59th minute of action. Lovett receives it, but can't control it from going out of bounds again. Play will stop for a couple of substitutions as Waynesburg gets ready for a throw-in. Entering Demko and Demko for Waynesburg. And here is the throw-in restart by Garber. Garber deflected by Lovett. Clayton in the vicinity. Clayton stepping in front. Can't get it on the near side, and now it's just punched forward by the Raiders. I think that was Garber who sent it forward. Fadala going for it. Clayton is there. Wanted there to be a foul, appealed for one, but then lost control of it. So here's Zeddy with it on the near side. Zeddy and Garber go at it. Rather, not Zeddy and Garber, but Zeddy and Fadala go at it. Clayton has it near midfield now on the near side. A little bit more life and aggression here from Waynesburg. Still yet to generate a chance truly, though.
Yeah, aggression and life, and I'd say a little bit of chippiness here. I think it's frustration starting to set in for Waynesburg, realizing what they're up against, and now any contact, they're looking for fouls. They're maybe generating some of the contact themselves, just trying to vent some frustration here. Down halfway through now this second half, and still nothing to show for it. Instead, they're down even further than they were at halftime. Bell Vernon has a throw-in here, right around midfield on the near side as we enter the 61st minute of action. Checking back in now that the yellow card suspension has expired. That's Hassan who will re-enter. Also, Maddie Batanti checking in. Sapesky throws it in. It finds Hassan, who just checked in moments ago. Hassan either committed a foul or was fouled. She was fouled, so it'll be a free kick from Bell Vernon, about 35 yards from goal. Four-woman wall on this near side for Waynesburg. Evans shouting out instructions. Here's the boot from Zeddy. Zeddy, a great curling ball, goes to the back post. Nobody's there. Out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Waynesburg. And Evans kind of came out a little bit too far on that one. Almost kind of overran the ball. If there was a Leopard in position there behind her, that would have been another easy tally there for Bell Vernon. Emily McCarty checking in. Claire Garber checking out. Waynesburg. Waynesburg getting ready to take this goal kick here on the far side of the 6th. 62nd minute. Bell Vernon leads courtesy of 2 Sierra Lynn goals in the first half, and then
a Bailey Campbell goal in the second half on a corner kick. Lynn exited the game in the 51st minute with an injury. And in the 54th minute, Hassan picked up a yellow card. Here's a cross in from Lovett. It bounces inside the 6, and then Evans has it with her hands at her head. Evans gets ready to boot it away. At the edge of the 18 toward the far side, has a teammate there, watches it go over her head, tries to play the bounce, but doesn't get there before the ball rolls out of bounds. That was Sophie Demko, who couldn't get there in time. Throw in, deflected by Madison Clayton on a high kick. Ball goes out of bounds for a Waynesburg throw after it's deflected out by a leopard. Clayton makes a run. Pass goes to Benke.
Hello, and welcome.
Benke jousting with.
Please hold while I confirm your
Into the
passcode.
high foot. Free kick for a dangerous
Thank
play.
you for joining Global Meet. When you hear the
that
tone,
point of the game, if you hadn't already, where it started to become a reality, what's transpiring here, where Bell Vernon is likely locking up a section title. So we will talk about what needs to happen for them to officially do that, to be honest tonight.
Zetti in possession, middle of the pitch, 50 yards from goal. Sends a long one into Lovett. Lovett crosses the semicircle, ball booted back. Evans has to play it with her foot. Now she does scoop it up, knowing it was a deflection, not a deliberate pass back. She'll be ready to pump one away.
Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
This one, though, on the punt is
Harold
won on the
Jason.
far side by Demko. Giving chase is Clayton. Clayton doesn't beat Bryco to it. We've seen a couple of foot races between those two. Bryco has won each of them handily. Now the ball comes to the near side in possession of the Leopards. Sapesky trying to get to it before it goes out of bounds. She does. She finds Lovett. On the near side still. Demko back to Sapesky. Now all the way up forward to Hassan. Misplayed by El Hampson. Coming out for it is Evans. She committed a foul. No, she didn't. Ref is saying to play on. Ball sent in by Lovett, and it's deflected out brilliantly by Lauren Rose. Jason, I'm not a referee, but I am not sure how that was not a penalty. Evans came in and took Hassan completely out of the play with her foot. Did not make a deliberate play on the ball. It's still a 3-0 lead for the Leopards. They maybe don't have too much to complain about, but to me, that's a penalty every time.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked very much like Hassan was going. All she has to do is get past Evans there. As Evans was charging out toward her, so any shot of any kind is likely going to beat Evans there. Evans tries to go out and prevent the shot, and she did have hard contact on Hassan to the point where it actually looked like Hassan was going to be down for a while as well. She was down on all fours for a moment and thought she might remain on the turf for an extended period of time, but she's back up and ready to go here. But I agree with you, that certainly looked like a foul on the part of Evans.
Now, our officials have stopped play here. The clock has stopped with just about 15 minutes to go. We've got a lot of jawing going on the pitch as Hassan is clearly continuing her appeal for a penalty. We do have a corner kick coming as play resumes from Zetti into the box. Hassan is there, can't get to it. Ball goes out of bounds again. Goal kick this time.
Yeah, if nothing else, the final 15 minutes or so of this contest,
Oh, yeah.
there's going to be some tempers flaring, I'm afraid.
Despite the no call on the penalty, which, though I said it's a clear penalty, every referee, all of these plays are truly judgment calls, and in a blink of an eye, it's so hard to make that judgment. What I might think is a blatant penalty could not be to another referee. That's what we've seen here. Waynesburg on a goal kick restarts things. Another handball on the far side. 65th minute of action. Bell Vernon, despite the no call, still leads 3-0. 2 goals by Lynn early on. A second half goal by Campbell on a corner made it 3-0. Waynesburg still has yet to record a shot in a match against the only team it has lost to all season. In fact, the only team that has shut it out all season. So far, Bell Vernon outscoring Waynesburg 5-0 this season.
Yeah.
And in a series that dates back to 2006, Waynesburg has had absolutely no success, unfortunately, against Bell Vernon. Back when these teams played in AAA, Bell Vernon won 8 consecutive times through the course of 4 seasons when these teams were AAA opponents. Then in the last 4 matchups between these two teams, dating back to 2013, Bell Vernon defeats Waynesburg by a combined total of 20-1. That includes the most recent matchup, and if you add on this fifth one since 2013, one that's happening tonight, that combined total goes to 23-1. I wonder who the lone goal scorer was for Waynesburg.
I don't know. That's incredible.
It was in a 10-1 loss, so perhaps it was even a mercy goal at that.
Right.
Here breaking free is Zeddy. Zeddy into the box. Zeddy still controlling. Ball cleared out by Waynesburg, but only so far as a chasing Riley Batanti. Batanti sends it back in. Goes out of bounds over the end line for another goal kick. Although, as it's been a continuing trend, Jason, we've seen these goal kicks really benefit Bell Vernon, a team that has hawked to balls, winning 50-50 balls throughout the night. Waynesburg has started to win a few of them here and there recently as we get a win, and a good one at that by Lily Beam, who sends it up to Madison Clayton. Clayton against Ryko. Ryko, after a long touch, gets there, sends it toward the far sideline. Clayton apparently was the one who touched it last. We've got a throw-in coming for the Leopards. Clayton still down by the fence. She went in hard.
Yeah, Ryko cut her off. Good play by Ryko defensively to cut Clayton off. But the contact there actually sent Clayton rolling into the fence there. It looked like she hit it pretty hard.
Now still on the far side, Waynesburg and Bell Vernon jostling for possession. The Leopard Batanti wins it because a foul is committed. I think that was Emily McCarty on the far side for Waynesburg who committed the foul.
You talked about it again, and we talked about it in the pregame as well, where obviously the history has certainly favored Bell Vernon, but there was reason to believe coming into this game that, you know, things could change tonight. I mean, just from the results we've seen so far this season and what Waynesburg has been able to do against everyone else, including a Ringgold team that beat this Bell Vernon team. But Bell Vernon just clearly has Waynesburg's number. I mean, and they've been blowouts to the point where you couldn't even have it, you couldn't even consider a game, really. But this season, I think you could. I think Waynesburg's ready to take that next step, and they just cannot get past this Leopard team.
Another corner from Zeddy on the near side, goes over the head of Hassan. Still dangerous here as Evans comes out and scoops up a header from Batanti. That's Riley Batanti who headed the ball on the far side. But you said it, Jason. We had some high expectations for the Raiders, and when I say we, I don't just mean the two of us, I mean the coaching staff on the team, some parents who have traveled with this team. This was expected to be the night that things changed, the night where 12 straight losses meant nothing if Waynesburg was able to come away with its first good result against Bell Vernon. Unfortunately, if that doesn't change, if this 3-0 scoreline doesn't change in 11 and a half minutes, Waynesburg will come away with only a playoff berth. Now, only a playoff berth, that is certainly still a positive season as another cross comes in for Zeddy, but it's not the best case scenario for these Raiders.
No, and it's funny how your perspective changes as well when you're just looking for a playoff spot for so long, you finally get the playoffs, but then when you have the section title within reach like it was tonight for Waynesburg, it's really a feeling of disappointment, even though you have achieved that goal of getting to the playoffs. It does not have that same jubilation that it would if you just, snuck in as the third team. It seems strange, but that's the truth. I mean, the closer you get, the more your expectations change.
Right, exactly. Well, after Waynesburg had a big win recently, a blowout against Brownsville, 7-0. After that game, Coach Joe Kioski told his players to embrace it and celebrate it because at that point the playoffs had been locked up and there was really just this match remaining that would decide. We've got a foul committed here and a free kick right on the fringe of the 18-yard box as Lovett jockeyed with Hampson just outside the box for a free kick. Now let's see what Zeddy can do. She's had a couple of good-looking balls from corner kicks and from longer free kicks. This one, give or take, is about 20 or 21 yards from goal. We've got another player coming over to assist. That's Ryko, lining up on the right side. Four-girl wall for Waynesburg. Ball comes in from Zeddy. Takes a deflection. Hassan is there. No shot on target yet as Ryko goes over. And I believe we've got a whistle to stop play. No advantage coming here on the counterattack for Waynesburg as the ball was heading right toward the awaiting feet of Madison Clayton. But instead, we're going to have a free kick restart, and that certainly does not benefit Waynesburg the way things have gone tonight, where the Raiders have won very few 50-50 balls.
Right, and I'll tell you what it looked like. The Leopards were going to have a really nice chance on a rebound there, but somehow it was cleared away by Waynesburg. Bell Vernon close to a great opportunity for a fourth marker here. Still 3-0, and now we're inside our final 10 minutes of play. So obviously things would have to turn around in an extreme hurry for Waynesburg here.
Waynesburg has really played well defensively in those situations, though.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes they are chaotic, and it looks like you're not playing defense, you're just scrambling to clear the ball out. But the amount of times that Bell Vernon has had the ball at point-blank range where a good boot would put the ball into the net, Waynesburg has come up with some remarkable saves. And I'm not talking about Josie Evans making saves. I'm talking
No,
about
you're right.
Lauren Rose and Elle Hampson and the likes of some others making fantastic plays. Now, pressuring the ball at the point is Hassan. It's deflected out by Rose. Now the ball comes all the way down near side into the attacking third for Waynesburg, but getting there first is a Leopard who lets the ball roll out for a throw-in. 8.5 minutes remaining. Waynesburg trails 3-0. If Bell Vernon hangs on to win 3-0, which it should, or at least it appears likely to do, it likely will win Section 4AA, although it does have a couple of more issues to take care of, the first of which comes against Elizabeth Forward on the 14th.
Yeah, and really what you can expect then is Bell Vernon just has to wait another 2 days to clinch that section title. As long as they get a win either at Elizabeth Forward or McGuffey, they will clinch the title. So they could clinch it officially as early as Wednesday.
In possession is Lovett, sending it to Sapesky. Ball intercepted by Waynesburg. Snee in possession. Snee loses it. Great D by Zeddy. Zeddy attacking. Zeddy breaks through the Waynesburg defense. Now into the box. Right-footed shot right at Josie Evans, who scrambles after a rebound to grab it inside the 6. Great work by Zeddy. Excellent foot skills to break through 3 defenders. She gave herself a tight angle on the near post and couldn't sneak it past Evans.
Yeah, it was a fantastic effort. I thought she was going to get a shot away earlier than she did, and really the longer she waited, the worse angle she had, to where if she gets that shot away a little earlier, man, that was just a beautiful individual effort there by Marissa Zeddy.
Waynesburg sends one out of bounds again on the far side. 74th minute of play. Bell Vernon leads by 3. Throw-in coming from the Leopards, close to 40 yards from goal. Finds a Leopard foot. Now it comes all the way over to Fidala. Fidala traps, turns near side, but can't get it out of the defensive third, and Zeddy is there. Zeddy over the ball. Backheel pass to Sapesky, coming up in support on the near side. Sending to Lovett inside the 18. Now she pops out to try to control it. Hampson tries to turn, but the ball goes out of bounds for another throw for the Leopards. Sapesky coming up. We're about 6 yards or so from the corner flag here on the near side. Sapesky's throw towards Zeddy. Zeddy now sends it forward into the box. Volley attempt right at Evans. A good-looking one from Riley Batanti. She didn't have much pace behind it, and it was an easy snag for Evans.
Yeah, it was the right place at the right time. Didn't have to do it. And really, if that ball misses her by a foot either way, it probably goes in the net. It was just directed right at Evans. Good chest control from Demko on the restart. In midfield, Fidala sneaks in and is fouled. Is able to give a free kick restart here for Waynesburg. Just over 5 minutes to play. Bell Vernon inching ever closer to another victory over Waynesburg, and a very important one that will put Bell Vernon atop the section. At midfield, here's the restart from Hampson. Goes over the head of Bean and is controlled by the Leopards. Now coming up with it is Zeddy, crossing the halfway mark. Zeddy, near side. Further to the near side now, through pass to Lovett. Lovett sneaks by a defender. Now she turns, fires an early cross that's volleyed again, and deflected out by Waynesburg. Good defense by Lipscomb to stop the Lexi Demko shot at the top of the semicircle. 76th minute of action. Long throw in here from the Leopards on the far side. Controlled by Batanti, sent in. Evans cradles it. Riley Batanti, she certainly likes to volley the ball. Yeah.
Evans with the boot toward the near side. Fidala is there. Long touch off the foot, but it's controlled by Haley Kessner. Kessner, good looking pass. Up to Clayton. Clayton fakes right now, goes left. Clayton near side, sends Fidala on the run, but it's just a touch too strong for Fidala and tracks out of bounds on the touchline near side. Throw in coming for Sapesky. Sapesky intends for Lovett, but it's deflected by Budala, chasing up his beam. But, Hryko is able to clear it out toward that Waynesburg defense. Exactly 4 minutes and counting down in this contest. Bell Vernon up 3. Through pass from Zeddy to Lovett. Lovett at the corner of the 18 near side has it. Gets past Kessner. Now left foot on the ground. Shot taken up the crossbar and down and in. A great shot by Aaron Sessick, the sophomore forward, to make it 4-0 Bell Vernon.
Absolutely nothing Josie Evans could do. That ball just crossed underneath the crossbar. She couldn't reach that no matter what she tried. And it just drops in and puts an exclamation point on this one for the Leopards.
76th minute goal. The assist comes from Lovett. A beautiful ground cross for her second assist of the night. Credit Aaron Sessick with a beautiful bar down shot from about 20 yards away. 4-0 is your score. Bell Vernon in control, and really has controlled since that early 7th minute goal by Sierra Lynn, the first of 2 before she exited the game early in the second half with an apparent leg injury.
Waynesburg will drop this one here at Bell Vernon, and of course their section schedule is over, so they just have to wait helplessly and hope that there's some sort of breakdown by Bell Vernon in their final 2 games. Like I said, all they have to do is win one of their final 2. They play Elizabethsport Wednesday, and then 5 days later they have McGuffey. 1 win in either one of those games for Bell Vernon will clinch the section title. Because the math works this way, obviously Waynesburg will be dealt their second loss here today. Bell Vernon with only 1 loss on the year. Even if they were to get a second loss, either against Elizabethsport or McGuffey, they would own the head-to-head tiebreaker over Waynesburg. So it would actually take losses in both of those games by Bell Vernon for Waynesburg to win this section title. And let's be honest, I mean, after this game,
Tonight,
it's obvious who the section winner should be. I mean, if Bell Vernon's able to beat Waynesburg handily, by a combined score of 6-0, you tip your cap and realize the better team is the Bell Vernon Leopards.
Well, in just about 2 minutes, we'll have our final result as Bell Vernon continues to press forward here offensively. Through ball sent toward the far corner flag, giving chase is Marissa Hassan. She doesn't get there in time. It'll be a deep Waynesburg throw in its defensive end. Just under 2 minutes now, Waynesburg not only shut out here for the second consecutive time against Bell Vernon this season, has not recorded a single shot tonight. And that's an unfortunate circumstance for a team that has Madison Clayton, one of the best goal scorers in the WPIAL. Shot by Zeddy from 25 out, right down the middle, right at Evans. 1.5 minutes to go now. Evans boots it away with the right foot toward the far sideline where it's chested down but out of bounds by Abby Virgin, and another throw-in comes for the Leopards. Good-looking throw-in to Demko, who heads it forward. And now Demko gets it back after a Waynesburg deflection. Approaching the final minute of play. Foul committed by Waynesburg. No whistle. Player drops to the deck. The goal scorer, Sasick, who was just hammered, but no referee blew a whistle there. So play will resume. Ball now back to Bell Vernon. Hassan sends it out of bounds on the end line for a goal kick. About 45 seconds remaining. Bell Vernon leads 4-0. Goal kick restart coming for Waynesburg, which after this loss will drop to 11-2-0 overall, 10-2 in the section. Both of those losses coming by a combined 6-0 total to Bell Vernon, the team that improves to 10-4-1 overall, 8-1-1 in the section, and jumps to the top of section 4 AA. 15 seconds remaining. Another goal kick coming for Waynesburg. Elle Hampson will take her time to get this restarted. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as Elle Hampson boots it. The game Waynesburg takes a deflection, heading toward the near sideline.